guys, I'm back again with another video, and today's video is going to be a makeup brush collection video. And these are most of the brushes that I own. There are still some that are upstairs and just laying around, but these are the ones that I use the most often and the ones that I can actually keep up with, which is because I actually use them. So these are the brushes that I own. They're all from different brands. Most of them come from sets that I've bought, and they're really inexpensive. I have sets from Coastal Scents and sets also from BH Cosmetics, which you know both of those are fairly cheap. And just because they're cheap does not mean that they produce cheap work. So as long as you know how to use a brush, then it doesn't matter what you're using, because you're the one that creates the work, not the brushes. So here is just a close-up of the ones that I use, and this is just a little makeup brush belt from Amazon that I bought. I think the belt was like $15. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna start with face brushes. And the first one that I have here is the Luxie 504 large angled brush, which is made up of real hair. Then I have, this brush here, I use it for contouring the face. Then I have this e.l.f. blush brush, and this again is fairly cheap. You can find this at any drugstore, and it's a blush brush. And it's kind of tapered. If you see, it's kind of pointed. I use this for setting the under eyes. It fits in there perfectly. Then I have my Lorac contour brush, and this is the one that came with the contour kit. And of course, you can see it's very short and thin. This is comparable to the NARS Ita brush, except for it's more rounded. And I use this to sculpt out and carve those cheekbones. Then I have I believe this is from Coastal Scents, and this is just a dual fiber brush. It's very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it is a dual fiber brush. And what that means is, you see there's white at the top and black at the bottom. The bottom ones are real hair and the top ones are synthetic hair. So these are ideal for applying a very light or minimal coverage or very fresh face coverage. I personally use it for highlighting the face, so I'll just run this across the product and then hit the cheekbones, and then some on the forehead, a little bit on the nose, and also on the cupid's bow. So after that I have, and I'm not going in any particular order, I'm just picking them up as I'm going. So this one is one of my favorite brushes, and this is the Sigma F80 flat top Kabuki brush, and I'm sure you've heard of this brush. This is very densely packed, and I actually just cleaned all my brushes, so they may be shaped a little weird, but as you can see, the bristles are very densely packed, and this is very good for packing on product. So if you want a very matte full coverage look, this is ideal for you. It provides full coverage, and in a very flawless way. You can buff this into the skin and it will give you a nice flawless even coverage. So then I have, this is another Coastal Scents, and all the Coastal Scents brushes I got from the 22-piece brush set. So this is the fan brush, and it is a dual fiber brush, again with the white hairs at the top and the black at the bottom. This is used, I use it for highlighting the face also. I will just run this across the product, and then I will hit the cheeks like this, and then I can do the bridge of the nose like this, and then the chin. This is a little big, so I prefer to use the smaller dual fiber brush, but this can also be used for that. And then I have this BH Cosmetics, and all the BH Cosmetics brushes that I have come from the 13-piece Rose Gold set. And this is the large powder brush, and it's just a very basic powder brush. However, the bristles in here are very fluffy and they're not densely packed. So this, for me, I use it for loose powder or translucent powder, just to dust all over the face. Then I have another powder brush, and this one's a little different. This one is from Real Techniques, and this is just the powder brush, and it's very round, very fluffy, but this one is very densely packed as opposed to the BH Cosmetics one. So what I use this for is for pressed powders. I would grab my pressed powder, my foundation or whatever it is, and then I would just go ahead and set everything on the face. Okay, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted to show this one because I don't know the name of it and I don't even know where it's from, but it's in a little set that I got for my birthday, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it because it is super cute. And as you can see, it is cheetah print, which is my favorite color. And yes, I do consider cheetah print a color. But yeah, this is just a standard powder brush, and what I use this for, I don't use it often, but when I do use it, is usually for just blush, just to dust some color over the cheeks. Then I have this Coastal Scents angled brush, and this brush is just a mess. If you can see, it sheds a lot, so I don't use this a lot, but I do use it when my other angled, the Luxie brush, is dirty. But this one is very, very fluffy, as you can see. So this is really good for bronzing the face, not really contouring, but for bronzing. However, the bristles on this are kind of rough, so it almost feels like they kind of scratch me, so I don't use it as often. But if the other one is dirty, I will go ahead and just suck it up and use it. And then I have these last two. One is from Coastal Scents and one is from BH Cosmetics. And these are just the flat foundation brushes. A lot of people don't use these. I'm not a fan of these for foundation. However, I do use them for the under eye concealers. If I don't have a beauty blender on hand, I will go ahead and use this. I'll just apply the product under and then just go ahead and tap this all over the area where I put the product. And it does take a little more work to blend, but it's however, you know, it still does the job for you, and it does do a very nice even look coverage. But then once again, you do have to kind of work a lot to get that look. So the last face brush that I have is this little e.l.f. Kabuki face brush, and I'm sorry I did not get to watch this one because I forgot about it. But this one is very, very, very soft and very fluffy, and it is very densely packed. So this is perfect for pressed powders or loose powders, but I like the more packed brushes for pressed powders. So that's it for the face brushes. Then we are going to move on with blending brushes. So I have these right here. These here are just, they're all from Coastal Scents, and they're just standard blending brushes. You have one that's kind of tapered, another one that's tapered but more on the fluffy side, and this one is very, very dense. So this is great for in the crease or like the outer V. This is really good for that. And then there's this guy here, which is angled, and I have never used this brush. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's very awkward when I try to use it. I didn't feel like it was giving me a nice diffused look, and I tried it for the lower lash line. It was just not working for me. So I have not used this, but again, it's in my collection, so I might as well show it. And then I'm going to move on to my favorite blending brushes. One is from Sonia Kashuk. Well, lighting got super weird. There we go. This one is from Sonia Kashuk, and it is the 109 brush, and I'm sure you've seen this brush if you've seen any of my other videos. This is my go-to. This is my ride or die. Very, very fluffy, very soft, and it gives a perfect blown out diffuse color in the crease. So this is perfect for transition colors. One that's very similar to this is the BH Cosmetics blending brush, and it's, you can see it's almost the same thing, except for this one is way more fluffier. This is more, it's not dense, but it is more dense than this one. So this still gives you that look, but if you want that really blown out look, you can use it, but you still gotta work with it. You gotta do a lot of blending, girl. So this one works just as good, but it takes a little more work. So those are my two favorite blending brushes. Now, I have this blending brush, which is a Mary Kay brush, and I don't know the number, but it is comparable to the MAC 217, and this does a really good job of blending for a more smaller area or for a more precise blend. You can go ahead and use this right in the socket right there, and this does an awesome job of that. And two more that I have that are similar to that one is the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, which is small and it's a little more dense. and then this one by Coastal Scents. It's about the same thing, but the Mary Kay one is awesome for blending. Then I have two fluffy eyeshadow brushes. They're both very similar. This one is from Coastal Scents, and what I use this one for is once I apply my primer on my eyes, I will grab a light color like a beige or something, or a white, and I pack this all over the eyelid to prime for the next eyeshadows. This one is a crown brush. It's very, very similar to this one. I use both on a regular basis. If one is dirty, I'll go for the other one, but these are both awesome. I use them just as much as the other. And the crown brush does have it's a dual ended brush, and I got this in an Ipsy bag. It has a little pencil brush, which I'm not really a fan of, so I've never used this. Well, I have, but I don't use it as much. And so I use these two for the all over eyeshadow. Alright, next I have flat eyeshadow brushes, and these are all synthetic, and I'm going to show them all at once because they're all the same thing except for they are different sizes. And they're these brushes. They look like little pink brushes, and these are all synthetic. Synthetic brushes will deposit more color on the lid as opposed to real hair brushes. So these are perfect for shimmer colors in the lid or pigments, especially if you wet them or if you spray some MAC Fix Plus or even eye drops or whatever. You can intensify the look. You can turn the pigment into like a full eyeshadow, and that looks really, really nice. But I use these brushes for a more pigmented look. So if I want to do like a hot pink lid, then I will reach for one of these brushes because that's what's going to deposit most of the color onto the eyelid. So those are the flat synthetic eyeshadow brushes. And then I have eyeliner brushes, and I have 3, and out of the 3 I only used 1. So this one is a small angled brush, and you can see how teeny tiny it is. It's very precise. This is perfect for gel eyeliner, and this will create a perfect wing, the perfect flick at the end, just because of how teeny it is. It's perfect. And then this one is from BH Cosmetics, and then I have 2 that are very similar but I do not use because, as you can tell, they are very flimsy, and eyeshadow can get very, very messy with these. So this one is from e.l.f. and this one is from BH Cosmetics. Once again, I have not used them. And then I have smudger brushes. I have this one from e.l.f., from Coastal Scent, which is awesome for smoking out the lower lash line. I would just use that for under there. Same with this. This is just a pointed pencil brush and then a classic smudger brush to smudge out any eye kohl that you have under there. Okay, then I have some random little brushes. This one is just a lip brush for lipsticks or lip glosses, and this is from that same little collection that I got for my birthday. And then this one is the Glamier Flat Top Kabuki, and I use this for primer on my eyes. So once I've done whatever I have to do and then I'm moving on to my eyes, I will put some concealer or primer on my eyelid and then just buff it out with this. Now for my eyebrows, it is from that same little cheetah print collection. I used this angled brush to apply the dip brow. Once again, it's very small and tiny, so it gives me that perfect arch and perfect control for that. And then this flat little concealer brush that I use to clean up the bottom. And then these 2 are from BH Cosmetics, and they're just a standard spoolie and a standard grooming brush for the eyebrows. And that's it, you guys. That's all my makeup brush collection. Well, most of it. Another thought, you guys, like I said, most of these brushes are not name brand. I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 that are name brand. Don't think that you have to have all of these makeup brushes, because you don't. And you don't have to have the high-end brands. Don't get influenced, and don't think that you have to have those type of brushes to get the kind of work that you want, because like I said, don't let the brushes define your work. You define your work by yourself. So the tools are an important part of it, but just because you don't have the right brand of tools doesn't mean you're gonna get quality work. So just keep that in mind, you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.